Hello, everyone. It's been a while, but today I do have to say something because one of my favorite artists just passed away. And in case you haven't heard the news, we are talking about John Cassaday. He passed away between, I believe it was yesterday. Not sure exactly what time, and wanted to talk about it for a moment. I saw it on some live streams, and then of course I saw it here on Bleeding Cool, where they made the announcement that he had passed away at 52 years of age, and that kind of hits close to home because he's only a few years older than me. He was admitted to an ICU in New York and passed away just the other evening. And 52 is I'm sorry, it's still a young age. It's still a young age to pass away. It does hit close to home. But John Cassaday was a fantastic artist. I remember at my local comic shop, there was my comic shop owner had an actual piece of original art from John Cassaday before he made it to Marvel and DC and doing the stuff that he was. And whenever you took a look at that original piece of art and then saw what he was doing for Astonishing X-Men and Planetary and Star Wars and all this other stuff that he did, man, it was such a huge improvement. He was leaps and bounds ahead of what he was in the past. And I have this Planetary omnibus sitting underneath my right beside my bed, actually, on my nightstand. Loved that series. Loved the concept, loved the writing, loved the art. It was something, each issue for me was just something to look forward to. It was amazing. And I loved the Astonishing X-Men run that he had with Joss Whedon. People can downplay it. I even reread some of it here recently, and it still was just as good for me. I loved it. I loved it. I especially loved that. I loved how he used Colossus in the beginning part of the series when they ran their first couple of storylines, and especially loved what he did with Colossus and Kitty Pryde as well. But then the interaction between Cyclops and Wolverine, Beast and Wolverine, Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, dude, it was really good stuff. It was really good stuff. I even enjoyed his Star Wars stuff that he did with Jason Aaron back in the day whenever they were first starting off the current line of Star Wars things that were going on. His art is fantastic. I mean, it's just the visual feast. But what I really wanted to talk about in this video is what actually happened to him. And that's based on my years as a medical professional and the details that were given away, not given away, but shared by John's sister, Robin, on Facebook. Bounding into Comics has more of this particular information available. And as you can see here, she makes some posts on Facebook and talking about how he was rushed to the ICU at a New York hospital. They didn't have all the information. Pray for him, those type of updates. But then 2 days later, we get another update from Robin stating that he's in ICU at Mount Sinai West. He's still stable. His organs are functioning normally. His brain is the main concern. And given my experience in the ICU of over 15 years, most likely what happened to John Cassaday was what's called an anoxic brain injury. And it's a serious condition that happens to the brain whenever it's cut off from oxygen over a prolonged period of time. And usually what happens to make that oxygen supply be cut off is they have a heart attack where they're not breathing. They can throw a DVT. They can throw a pulmonary embolism, and the other issues you can see here on the screen. But what happens is that the brain can't recover from that. And most likely, whenever she says here, his brain is the main concern, and MRI is supposed to happen tomorrow, which will give an even clearer picture. Most likely what they were doing the MRI for, and probably some additional tests that they didn't disclose, was to look at brain death. And that's why they made the announcement that John passed away at 6:51 p.m. Texas time, or Central Standard Time in most cases. And that's most likely. I'm not saying this is definitive fact. I'm just giving you my experience here because I've dealt with many of these type of patients over the years. Most likely he has some type of vascular event, a heart attack, deep vein thrombosis, a pulmonary embolism, something like that, was down by himself, no one around to start CPR or any type of resuscitative process. And he went without oxygen for an extended period of time. And that led to him having the brain injury that he had and then ultimately passing. And I really feel bad, especially if the family had to go ahead and withdraw care because of his brain death, that he just simply wasn't coming back. Very sad to see. Very, very sad to see. And especially for someone that's only 52 years old. But man, what a legacy of artwork and stories. I mean, really stories that he left. His storytelling was amazing. You can dislike him, whatever the case may be. But for me, I loved his art and I loved his storytelling. I thought it was amazing. And it's really sad to see that this has happened to him. Some of us came across Twitter and saw several of his, several people posting, rest in peace, John Cassaday, and posting some of their favorite images. And, these are just some of them right here. This Wolverine cover, issue number 3 of Astonishing X-Men was this fire. I mean, that's a fantastic image. Wolverine, issue 13. And he and Whedon did a long run. I mean, I think their total run was over 24 issues, maybe closer to 30. I could be wrong. I'd have to look all that up. But even he did Captain America as well. He did several Captain America things. I think he did 2 separate miniseries, if I'm not mistaken. And I loved this particular scene right here between Wolverine and Scott Summers, and Wolverine just had to give it to him every now and then. Summers, you prove to me why you're the guy that's in charge. Yeah, that was an awesome scene. And then this fight right here between Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde was taking her out through a wall, man. That's how lethal she could be. There was so many imaginative and different things that were done with the series. With some of these characters during that series. Some people would say it was too many liberties taken, but honestly, I thought it was pretty freaking awesome. Several of the things. I'm not saying it's perfect. I do remember enjoying it, though. I do remember enjoying that. And I always loved how John Cassaday portrayed Colossus. And it was just amazing, amazing stuff. I mean, it was hard for Cassaday to portray a character in a bad way. He did have a bit of a controversy in recent months, in the past year or two, where he made some covers that were published, and they were just they really weren't good covers. I'll just be honest with you. They weren't good covers. There was a lot of controversy. Like I don't know, man. They must have halved his rate or something because that was bad. But it's sad to see, sad to know, see what's happened. We've seen so many great talents that have passed away in recent years. Even on this same day when John Cassaday passed away, James Earl Jones was reported to have passed away at age 93. And what a legacy of entertainment that he left as well. But John Cassaday, I guess I could say, had a bit closer. I was closer to him in that regard. He was just a fantastic artist. Never got to meet him. It would have been amazing to have met him one day, but I never did get a chance to meet him. Of course, many people said that he was just a really nice guy. So rest in peace, John Cassaday. I hope your family has strength and peace during this time. I hope you find peace as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.